Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. Travis Thomas, George Balekji. Here's the best part of our show. Ready? George, can I ask you a question?
What up?
What are the Red Sox doing with their outfield? Watch this.
I don't know. Because we've had constant reports coming out, and we know what they have. They have depth. It's Jarren Duran in left, Ceddanne Rafael in center, Wilyer Abreu in right.
Yes.
But enter Roman Anthony, who can play left field or DH. Enter Masataka Yoshida, who can DH, but you haven't placed some outfield to make it work with the lineup. They have versatility throughout their defensive alignment.
Yes.
So Jim Bowden of The Athletic, who's plugged in with the league, he reported yesterday the Red Sox have been discussing trading Jarren Duran with several teams, not because they necessarily want to trade him, but because they like the outfield of Wilyer Abreu, Ceddanne Rafaela in center, and then Roman Anthony in left. If the Red Sox trade him, it'll be for a starting pitcher and perhaps a first baseman if they can find the right deal.
Okay.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have Zach Gallen and Josh Naylor on their roster.
I'll take both.
Simple, one-team trade. We don't need multiple deals going down. But then Jesse Rogers of ESPN put out this morning, with the Red Sox holding an American League wildcard spot, the front office is likely to add pitching, according to sources familiar with the situation. Nice.
All right.
While retaining the abundance of outfielders, unless a club is blown away with an offer in the next 10 days.
Well,
why do you have to be blown away by an offer? Why do you need to be blown away? Why do you have to hold on to the abundance? And now, this is a little, murky. The abundance of outfielders, technically, Masataka Yoshida is an outfielder. He's a DH, though.
He's a DH.
But when you see that, and when you're going to talk about abundance of outfielders, that is Wilyer Abreu or Jarren Duran in the conversation. Wilyer Abreu has 20 home runs on the year.
I can't get rid of him.
He's been their leader at the dish. He's been really sound. He's a Gold Glove quality right fielder.
You got to take him out of the
Jarren Duran, we've seen defensive lapses. He is their leadoff hitter, but he's been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's a player that other teams have been calling about. If you get a starting pitcher in return, if you can get a positional player and a bat that you need in return, like a Josh Naylor, someone that's performed big in the postseason, someone that has called Garrett Cole his little effing baby. That's Josh Naylor, and I quote what he said on a diamond.
He needs to be a Red Sox.
Exactly. That's what I say. But Jesse Rogers went on to report, having a surplus of good players isn't a bad thing. That's according to assistant GM Paul Taboni. The high in depth is a really good thing. It's not like we're anxious to move away from that. So as a Red Sox team that's in the playoff spot, that has all this talent, but as we open up the show, they need another quality arm in the rotation. They need a bullpen arm because Jordan Hicks, unless he gets his location down in his control, I don't know what happens there. And they need to get another bat, especially at first base in this lineup.
If possible.
But now they're saying they're not going to move their major league level players. Okay, so are you going to part with prospects? Is that Peyton Toley, who's a really good left-handed pitcher? Is that Luis Perales?
And you're not going to get
Is that the password?
And some of these guys.
Exactly. And they need to add, and you want to see this team buy because they haven't been in the postseason since 2021. To round out Rogers' reporting, as the calendar inches towards August, that's a sentiment throughout the clubhouse, where the veterans who have been through the uncertainty of trades seasons are relieved to spend the next 2 weeks without trade chatter. I think that's more pointed at. And Aroldis Chapman, who's a rental, but they're going to hold on to him because they are right there. What I don't want to see is this team look back at that 10-game win streak and go, we're good. Look, we have the guys, 10-game win streak. We can make it happen. That was against the Nationals and the Rockies. They played terrific against the Rays. That was tight, playoff-type baseball.
The Rays
but
were
what have we seen the last 4 games? What have we seen the last 4 games against first-place teams in their division?
Yeah.
3 losses, just 1 win.
Also, I agree with you about the Rays because we put a lot of stock in that series, but it should be noted the Rays have not won since. Okay, so like the bottom's falling out there.
Yeah.
So you could even now take away, we do this a lot in college football. You beat a really great team, and then later in the season you find out, well, actually, that was a crappy LSU team this year, whatever. It's kind of what the Rays are right now. I hear you. As you were talking, I was just writing down names of who I would quite literally hang the phone up for if you called for, okay? Mm-hmm. You add to this list. I put Roman Empire, I put Breggy, I put Ward Pig, Marcelo, Chapman, Abreu, the way he's hitting right now. I'm not taking any phone calls.
No.
Narvaez.
No.
Am I missing anyone?
Jarren Duran, I would take a call on.
No. I'm hanging up.
Abraham Toro, I would take a call on. Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, Ceddanne Rafaela, you add him to that list. He's the best center fielder in baseball.
All right.
And that guy's been great at the end of your lineup.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Rafaela, Roman, Breggy, Ward Pig, Marcelo, Chapman, Abreu, Narvaez.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I'll take a phone call.
Even Trevor Story, who is a leader, But Bregman's a leader that steps up, and Trevor Story's been really good with his bat. But what do you have with Marcelo Meyer? He could play short. Okay, what do you do at second?
I liked him at third, too.
The one thing, he looked terrific at third.
He looked great at third.
The wrench in this is you wish Christian Campbell was playing and hitting at a major league level, because he could be at second if you want him there, or he could be your first baseman. But let's say he's playing second, then Marcelo Meyer's your shortstop, and you could trade Trevor Story. But that's tough with that contract.
Yeah.
But that's with this team on why you want to see them buy. You know what? You can't move Trevor Story, and that's fine. Hold on to him. He's really good. He's a leader. He's a vet. And he's an amazing glove in the middle infield. But you need to add, and that's where you can move a Jarren Duran. That's where you can move guys like that, like a Masataka Yoshida. That's where you can make that happen. And maybe you bundle in an Abreu Toro, who's a good first baseman, but we've seen his bat cool off, the mistakes on the base path as well. This is a team that we saw that 10-game win streak. We saw glimpses of their potential in that ceiling, but they're not hitting it every day. Why would I come on here when they'd be winning series? They won 3-4 in a row, and I go, look, man, I just need to see it more consistent, and then they dip back down and they go into a lull. This team doesn't consistently play good baseball, and they need to add players, a bat and a pitcher. We could go with two arms to get them to consistently play good baseball.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why last night was maddening in every way, because that's one you should have won. And that's one that got away from you, and it shouldn't have. The other thing I'll mention, because you brought up Duran. Duran seems like the name with the most juice behind it, that other teams are interested in. I don't know. I'm not in the baseball circles enough to know if Yoshida's getting that kind of attention, but it doesn't seem like it. Duran, I noticed, though, is getting a lot of attention from contenders, too. And hell, if anything, I'll go back to last night, too, because the Phillies have been linked to being interested in him, and you saw what he did against the Phillies last night. So maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe there's something there. We hear the Padres, since even going back to last year, when it comes to Duran and flirting with, and we like him, whatever. He seems like the one you can get the most in return for. But again, I question, it's not so much I don't want to move off of any outfielder, right? I don't want to make it positional here. I just see something with Duran where he brings something to your team, to your cohesion, that worries me in terms of losing that. I think there's something with him and this team and the chemistry. Maybe it's chemistry is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That just works. And I'm afraid, as much as you need a second starter, I agree with you. Who the hell doesn't? A bat, preferably at first base, but you and I have both conceded, we'll take wherever. You just need a bat, okay?
Yeah.
But let's, for the sake of conversation, say first base. All these things are needs, and I get it. But again, what are you losing with Duran? Outside of the production on the field, I think you're losing something that you can't quantify. That worries me a bit. But as you run through the outfielders, I don't know. I definitely don't believe, who was it that said you're not moving anyone? Was it Bowden? Or Bowden? I don't believe that for a second. I think one of these guys, if not more than one, are gonna go. It is a log jam. It's a log jam.
I just don't know why they would put out that smoke that they wouldn't move with one of the guys unless they're trying to drive the price up on Duran.
Yes, of course.
And again, that's what he says at the end. If they're blown away by a deal, then they'll move them. That's what Jesse Rogers put in.
Yes.
Jim Bowden is basically saying, you know what? They could move them. They like the outfield with Roman and left, but...
Do you think they'll be blown away from an offer?
Joe Ryan not catching less and less steam on this market, but again, if it's Jarren Duran and say prospects, and you get Zach Gallen, Josh Naylor.
I think you have to
again,
do it.
You want to go, exactly.
You have to do that.
Yes.
That's literally
you
two
need
birds,
a first
one
baseman,
stone.
you need a veteran bat in the
Yes.
lineup, and you need another arm in the rotation.
God.
And that answers that.
It answers that with one trade.
Yeah. And there might be prospects having to throw in, but look at how young this team is. Again, with Wilyer, Abreu, and Ceddanne Rafaela ascending, Meyer, Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell ascending. With Alex Bregman, you think he'll be here for 3 years? I think they should extend him and give him a 5-year deal. Like, that is something they have to work.
What you don't do is trade him.
No.
Right?
You cannot sign him.
No.
That is what was big for this offseason. When it came to free agency.
Yes.
You know, there's a photo of John Henry smoking a cigar. You can't smoke a cigar one day.
That's right.
And then trade him the next.
Can't.
That's a guy. And what we see, his value, he's always in the dugout talking to the young guys. He's talking to the vets. He's teaching Trevor's story about hitting. And he is adding to this team in that way. He's helping out the pitchers as well. You cannot trade him.
I'll do you one better with Bregman. We haven't really seen the true value yet unless this team makes the postseason.
Bingo.
Then you get
He's
the
a
payoff.
winner. He's a winner. multiple World Series appearances, let alone rings, multiple ALCS appearances.
Gosh.
And he shows up in the big moments.
Yeah.
Like that, his pinch hit home run to salvage that series against the Cubs.
Yes.
Steps in, pinch hit, and he goes, this is what I do, man.
Yeah.
Put me in, I'll hit it. I got you.
Him
you want on base?
Him and Crochet saved the season. They saved the season.
They're saving this team. I don't know if they've saved the season, though. The front office needs to save the season. The players can only do so much.
Well said.
They salvaged that weekend.